I got a phone call saying that, hey, I've heard that you write a lot about Cuba and you're also a playwright. Would you be interested in doing, like a 20-minute play in a bar? And I thought, okay, what is this? What's the story? He tells me the name of the story, shows me a deck and says, research a little bit the Arechavala family. I became obsessed. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I don't know this story. And I write about Cuba and I have a PhD with a focus in Cuba. Why don't I know this story?
So Vanessa kind of calls me and she's like, listen, there's this thing, Havana Club. I want to do like a 20-minute piece. When I Google Havana Club and I look at the website, I realize that it's like the one from Cuba. I'm like, Vanessa, what are you putting me into? What are we doing here? Like, do I have to talk to my parents and say that I'm working for the Cuban government? Like, what's happening here? And so when she talks to me, she actually tells me, she's like, wait, that's not what that is. This is the story of the real Havana Club. And I'm like, what's that? She tells me about the Arechavala family, which is a family that was very prominent in Cardenas and was the original family that created Havana Club. When the revolution happens, the company gets nationalized. And let's call it for what it is, it was stolen.
The Arechavala story is a story of having everything, it being taken, then being erased. And I think that's the crucial story, the idea of an entire history being erased, being veiled, being covered, and the desire of our generation to say, no. Let's scrape this surface and let's unveil this thing because there is so much history that people don't know about. I mean, this is a story that is literally being rewritten and retold as we're living and walking.
So when she tells me that, I'm like, oh boy, that's it. Like, you're talking about my people's story beyond my people's story. You're talking about every single Cuban story framed in something.
I don't want to sound dramatic, but it felt destined that this was a story that I felt the need that I had to tell. And like that, little things started to appear from members in the cast, connections everywhere. It was almost like all of a sudden we were realizing that we were all in the same family and that we were telling the story of our family because that's what we're doing. That all of a sudden that 20-minute show in a bar became a 2-hour production with 2 pilot projects, one in Miami and one in New York City, and is now a semi-permanent production in Miami going forward. So every single person behind it has their heart and soul in it, and you can feel it. And when that happens, we also have a lot of fun. And I think that that's crucial because you have to enjoy these moments of storytelling in order for that story to come across the way that we feel it.
What we've built is a family. And what we're sharing is a truth. I firmly believe that Amparo is built to heal. And that's where Vanessa and I come from. Because as a Cuban American who talks to other Cuban Americans, everybody says, oh, because our parents are crazy and they're paranoid and all that stuff. And they have a view. But they need to be heard and we need to heal it. Because what they went through was trauma. And we got to call it for what it is. It was trauma. This is deep-rooted. And so Amparo, I hope, is one of many. It's just a drop, but one of many things that will heal the Cuban people because we need it.